Part 4. The Quest for Death. Chapter 1. Adam and Eve. We were very perplexed and confused by New Man's spiritual powers and by his mythology on immortality. They claimed that it was better to have an infinite number of shorter mortal lives than to have only one immortal one. Souls studied the brain patterns during the gestation period of souls and New Man. They discovered that during gestation, brains vibrate and radiate a very high frequency signal at 3.14 times the speed of light. This signal was called spirit, and it was unique to each newborn, like the fingerprints on their fingers. The signal normally started a few weeks before birth and always ended at birth. The signal was modulated, but the code could not be broken as it was just random noise. Scientists traveled back in time to retrieve these new spirit fingerprint signals from their dead children and discovered that spirit fingerprints of some new gestating brains matched the spirit fingerprints of some of their dead children. They tried to interpret this vibration. There was a clear framed signal, but empty of content. Some speculated that their dead children resurrected into empty new brains, much like resurrecting into robot bodies at baptism. They made long expeditions out to the distant past, far out in space, and retrieved spirit fingerprints of all their dead children and those of recent newborn babies. They built data banks and analyzed spirit fingerprints of all newborns, both their own and those of New Man. They found many matches. Of the many matches for their dead children, all of them were with newborn New Man. Of the many matches for the dead children of New Man, none of them were with newborn souls. It was like nobody wanted to get reincarnated as an immortal soul. Psychologists discovered that with hypnosis, they were able to uncover traces of past memories from souls as well as from New Man. There was a young, curious, and brave soul on New Earth who developed a faith in New Man's God. His name was Adam. Adam decided not to be baptized and to die a natural death. He wanted to seek the heaven of New Man and of his dead ancestors, so he decided to die. Before Adam died, he promised to come back as a newborn soul. He asked Lucy and me to have a child 10 years after he died. He promised to reincarnate into our child and asked us to test this child for his spiritual fingerprint. Adam lived to be 120 years old and died a celebrity, being the biggest proponent of New Man's religion. His death was celebrated by New Man. His last words were, "You got to die to get to heaven, to live for eternity. And by my sign, may all souls have faith to die." Scientists studied his death as close as they have ever studied death. They scrutinized for spirit signals with their most powerful machines. The spirit signal started a few moments after death, strengthened for a few hours, and lingered till the brain cells started to decay. Lucy and I agreed to have the child Adam asked us to have. When our baby girl, named Eve, was being born 10 years later, scientists matched her spiritual fingerprints with that of Adam's. To our astonishment and amazement, they were exactly identical.